Hey, Yuri here with you today. Today I'm going to share 5 habits of high performers with you, specifically high performing entrepreneurs. But this actually applies to, I think, any area of life, whether we're talking about athletes or parents or anything else. The reason I can share this with you is because I spent the last 20 years, when I look at my combined experience in soccer, playing professionally, as well as business and having built some really cool stuff in business. I've been very fortunate to surround myself with some very, very high level people. And I've noticed a couple traits, habits over the years. I think there's more than 5, but I want to share 5 of them with you in this video. So if you're cool, let's jump into it. Number 1, high performers, they know their limits and they're always looking to push them. So they know what they're good at. They know what they're not so good at. And they're not necessarily looking to strengthen their weaknesses. They're looking to spend more time on strengthening their strengths. And in some cases, obviously delegating and outsourcing their weaknesses to other people who are better at that than them. So they know their limits, they know what they're good at, they know what they're not, but also they know their limits in terms of their mindset. They know that they're limited by maybe their upbringing or the fact that they weren't fed with a silver spoon. And they put themselves in an environment that is going to challenge them to grow, to expand their thinking, to expand their beliefs and horizon so they can reach for new objectives and new goals. So knowing their limits and pushing them is the first one. Second is they're constantly seeking feedback. They hire coaches. Pretty much that's as simple as how else I can put that. They're seeking feedback, not in the sense of let me watch this YouTube video to figure out how to do something. No. They're going to go right to the source. They're going to hire a coach. They're going to figure out what it is they're doing, what's not working. And the third thing that kind of ties in with that is they're going to constantly be course correcting. They're seeking that feedback. And then based on the feedback is their course correcting. So if something isn't working, well, all right, we're going to pivot and take action and move in a new direction. Now, the difference between high performers at this point and quote unquote losers or quitters is that quitters give up. Quitters quit, right? They don't course correct. They say, this is hard. I thought it was going to be easier, and they stop. And that's why the vast majority of people in this world amount to nothing. I'm sorry to say that, but it's true. You don't want to be one of those people. You want to be one of the people who rises up, who inspires others to do the same, and you cannot quit. You have to constantly be taking action, moving forward, course correcting based on the feedback and pushing those limits. Number 4 is they take massive action. And this again ties very closely in with course correction, but they take massive action. They don't have to have all their ducks in a row. They don't have to have everything lined up. They just, a lot of these people, they're not smarter. They're not like PhDs and people you think are smarter than you. Quite honestly, a lot of times they're less smart. And it can be frustrating when you see someone who's not as smart as you on paper, but they're killing it in life. They're killing it in business. And it's just, sometimes it's actually better not to know what you don't even know and just go forward, because they don't have any, there's no oh, I know that type of stuff. They just go, they take action, they get that feedback, they course correct, and they keep moving forward. And the 5th thing is that they're grow givers, which means that they're constantly growing, they're constantly learning, and they're constantly giving back. And I say giving back, not in the form of charity. They are adding to the world in the process of serving others. So they think of, how do I add value before I ask for anything in return? And if I'm asking for value, if I'm providing value, eventually the tap is going to run dry. So how do I continue learning and growing? How can I continue being in environments where I'm learning from the best? I'm taking those lessons and insights. I'm going to share them with others. I'm going to make their lives better. I'm going to make their lives easier. And as a result, they get compensated appropriately for that. But in order to give, you have to grow. And the more you grow, the more you can give. And the more you give, the more money you can make, because money is simply a reflection of the value you create for other people in this world. The more value you create, the deeper the impact you make, the more money you make as a result. It's as simple as that. So those are the 5 habits of high performers. Now let me ask you this. Are you a high performer? Let's be honest. Are you where you want to be? Are you struggling? Well, I'm gonna call it out. If you're struggling, and if you've been struggling for years, maybe you're not as much of a high performer as you thought. but it's still in there. There's still that kindling, there's still that flame inside of you that knows that deep down in the right environments with the right support, you can make this happen. Anyways, if you feel you're a high performer and you want to be surrounded by other high performers, to just, because again, listen, like very few people understand what we do. Very few people in this regular world understand what the hell we do, right? So it's important to be surrounded by other people who are crushing it, who are doing great in their business and are just, great people. And if you want to be surrounded by amazing people who are also high performers, send me a message, send me a DM, send me a whatever, and let's chat, because we've got an amazing group of healthpreneurs that we help at a very high level who are doing some big things. And if you are serious about taking your business to the next level and you consider yourself a high performer who's already doing well in business and you want to get to the next level, then let's chat. Send me a DM, let me know where you're at, let me know where you want to go, and let's figure out if we can support you. Sound good? In the meantime, hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope you have an awesome day.